It's Kara with Sip by Kara. Thanks for joining us today. I have a very special guest today. She's going to show us how to make Isomalt fishbowl and Isomalt little lights like Christmas tree lights, which is great because I have a Christmas tree cake I have to do next week, so this is perfect. Her name is Jessica Cruz. She's all the way in Hawaii, and her business name is... Tell me again, Jessica.
Abstract Edible Arts.
Abstract Edible Arts. I only know her from Jessica Cruz because we hang out on all the cake boards together, but I'm so excited to show her. This is Jessica, everybody. Say hello, Jessica.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself, Jessica. Where are you again, and how did you get started?
I live in the beautiful Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. I started decorating cakes about 3.5 years ago after I got out of the Marine Corps. I went to order my son a birthday cake, and it was going to be outrageous, and I was like, nah, I could probably do it myself. So I did it myself, and it just went from there. I loved it. It was a way for me to express my creativity, and here we are.
I have to show you guys her cake. Let me just show you this cake that she just made. Who is this cake for?
It was for a good friend of mine. Her name is Sarah. We actually traded. She is doing a frozen vintage vanity for me, and I did that cake for her. So we traded skills.
That is pretty darn fantastic. And that fishbowl up here is what blew me away. And I remember you trying to explain how you did it in words. And I thought, yeah, I can't figure that one out. So I'm going to need you to, oh, what am I doing here? Hold on. Let me go back to screen share. Preview. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. What are we seeing? Stop looking at that. So you were trying to explain to us how to get your what are we seeing? What do you see right now?
I see you.
You see me. Okay, hold on. Okay. Now we want to see Jessica. Okay. So if you guys are joining in, there is a little box that you can click onto, and it will show you where you can ask a question. So just go ahead and ask a question, and hopefully Jessica will be able to answer it for us live. There's a little box that should say join in the conversation. Click here. So go ahead and do that. And also let us know if there's anything that you didn't see clearly that maybe we can ask Jessica to do it again. So Jessica, I'm going to turn everything over to you, and you can just sort of get started with your demonstration.
All right. First things first, we're going to go over safety. Isomalt is extremely hot. You have to get it to about 300 degrees. So I use just these normal little gloves that I got from Walgreens. I usually use 2 on my right hand and only 1 on my left hand because I work more with my right hand. You want to make sure that you're fully clothed in case you spill it. Make sure you have closed-toed shoes on, pants, because I've spilled it before and it's very, very hot. As far as safety goes, that's about it. I'm not a professional person with the Isomalt. This is just how I learned to do it myself, and thought I would share it. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. The materials that we're going to be using today is the Silpat. It's a silicone mat. You're going to need vegetable shortening, some floral wire. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Different types. What gauge was that floral wire that you were?
I'm not sure. I want to say maybe 16.
And you found it what in the just the regular floral department at like Michael's or something?
Walmart.
Oh, or Walmart.
There's not a Michael's in Hawaii. We only have a Ben Franklin's. And then I just have, these are the straws that I use to dowel my cakes with, the bubble straws. And then I have just one of my children's straws. It's nice and plastic. It was from one of their little kids' cups that we can't find the rest of the pieces to. And anyone who has kids usually has one of these. They're medicine dispenser things. I forgot what they're called.
Oh, like a dropper or something, yeah. Maybe you could find them at the medical supply place or aisle, I guess, too.
Yeah, that's fine. It's something with a hole that you can blow through, basically. And then for the fishbowl, I just used a plastic cup. I made a slit and I cut a slit into it. I don't know if you guys can see. I cut a nice little slit into it. And then I made a little hole on the other side. You're going to need an X-Acto knife, some gum paste, and then this is my Isomalt. In Hawaii, you can't make your own Isomalt. The humidity here immediately melts it. You can't, no matter how many fans you put on this Isomalt, it is not going to dry. So I just used, I think this is CK's Isomalt. It's cheaper for me to order it on Amazon Prime. It's free shipping. So
could you use the pre-Isomalt gems? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. Because once you cook that down, it melts and forms into solid Isomalt that you can store, just like the gems or the little bits.
Awesome.
So, scissors, and then just normal food. I use AmeriColor food coloring. Anything that's water-based, I found works great. I have plastic bags to put the Isomalt, the blonde Isomalt on. You can use, what's it called?
Saran wrap or?
Saran wrap. Just so it dries. So
Awesome.
we can get started.
What are you going to show us first?
First, I'm going to go ahead and put some Isomalt, cook some Isomalt. I usually use about a cup. Full. It's very, I don't know if you can see, it's very, whoops, grainy.
It's like coarse salt almost.
Right. It's very, almost like detergent.
Oh. So can you explain your cooking process for those who've never done it?
I usually use my stainless steel pots for it. You can use anything, I guess. I turn my oven on high, and I have my trusty candy thermometer, and let it bubble and melt until it's completely dissolved. And then I put my candy thermometer in it and make sure it's at least 300 degrees before I turn it off.
You don't put any water or anything like that in it?
No, I just leave it. I just pour it in there and let it melt.
Oh, how long does that usually take?
On high, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much you use. So, but I already have some made that we can start melting and blowing. So, I'm going to take my steel pad, fold it over, the Isomalt is inside. You guys can see that. I put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, until it gets nice and melted. Again, it's very, very hot when you take it out. You want to be extra careful because there's only 2 sides that it can come out of. So you want to make sure you don't pour it on yourself.
Could you put it in sort of a glass?
Anything that's microwave safe, you could put it in. I don't have a heat lamp or any other heat source to keep it warm, so I usually just use the microwave. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm doing it here. But the microwave, it heats it unevenly, so you see how some is hard and some is liquid. You just want to use the mat to kind of get it that same temperature. So you just keep going over. It's still too hot to actually touch with your hands. You see how when I pull it back, it still sticks to the mat?
It's a little hard to see.
Because it's clear.
Yeah.
But it sticks to the mat. So you just want to keep pressing it until it gets to the same temperature all over.
So you're using the mat to mix it versus your hand.
And now that it's pliable, you can mix it and pull it. So what you want to do now, it's very hot. You want to get it as even as possible and kind of put your finger or your thumb in it and make like a little cylinder shape to actually blow the bubble. Take your straw, place it around the edge. Make sure it's nice and closed off, and you want to blow.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So, I mean, and it's that simple. I mean, of course, I blew it so you could see it pop because that's the fun part. But, and it's okay to do that. It's okay to mess up because Isomalt is reusable. You can remelt it back down and start over. I'm just going to pop it back in the microwave for 30 more seconds.
So you could basically, could you take a smaller amount, obviously, to blow up, like if you wanted to make tinier things?
Of course. You just have to work really fast because it cools really fast.
Right. So question, how much of the isomalt would you need to make that size fishbowl that you made? Is there a weight amount or an ounce amount that you could tell us?
I don't think I actually used a certain amount. It was just what I had left over. I would say maybe a cup I used for that bowl.
Is that a cup of the granules that you're talking about, or a cup of it actually melted?
It was a cup of it, the granules that I used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is almost done.
What temperature does the candy thermometer need to register for it to be finished?
I usually do 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Is that considered, what is that, a soft ball, or it can't be hard crack, obviously, right?
Right. I don't really know. I just know that I know a video that Liz did once. I think it was for her gyms. She made it to 300 degrees, and so
Oh, yes.
I just thought I would start with that to see if it worked, and it did.
Can you lower your video screen? Great.
I just pour it directly onto the seal pat. It's very, very hot.
That was so easy, the granules. You just left it in the pot and
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna have to get some of that.
it was very easy. And then you let it cool. This one over here is nice and cooled off. You just do it with the, yeah. You want to cut it with the scissors for smaller pieces, only because if you try to stretch it and pull it out, it gets hard and uneven with the temperature.
You can come, if you could come closer to, yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. And you're forming it into like a little light.
Right.
That is so super neat. It's a little hard to see because it's clear. But that looks so easy. Like it's just how much I guess force of air are you using? Is it
Just
turning red?
not even. It's not a lot at all. You just barely blow it, and you just want to try to make sure it's as even as possible. And then, of course, I have my trusty fan over here that I just use to dry it. And once you get it the way you want it, if you don't, here in Hawaii, the humidity is so high that if I don't completely dry it all the way, it'll re-melt down. It won't stay.
Oh. So once it's completely dry and you have it like on a cake, what are you keep referring to the humidity? Will it start to dissolve the sugar while on the cake and melt down, or how do we go about it once it's on our cake?
It stayed just fine on my fishbowl. I also had the fan on it all night long.
It looks neat. Do you have any that's colored that maybe you could show us?
Yeah, I do.
Like a brighter color.
And then it fits right onto the thing. Maybe not right onto it.
That is so super neat.
Here, I'll melt some of this glue down. Let's see if we can go ahead and do the fishbowl.
Any of our viewers, if you have any questions, click on the Q&A question box and type in a question, and we'll see if we can get it answered. Jessica's so awesome for giving us this demo for free, so get your questions in now.
Okay. Now what I'm doing is making this super even.
Like a pancake?
Right. Just so that it's You just want it as even as possible. And now I'm taking my cup.
Can you lower your screen so we can see what you're doing?
And I'm just pressing it around so that it forms that seal on the cup, so when I blow into it, the air doesn't come out.
Oh.
It's so hot.
Is it too hot?
It's very hot.
Is it not good to do it when it's too hot? Should it be a little more cooler, or it doesn't really matter?
I can't really tell you. I've only worked with it really hot.
Oh. I see it happening though. That is, oh my God, that's so cool.
And then I just put it in front of the fan so it can cool as I'm blowing.
Are you using your hand to help shape it as you blow?
Really just to hold it because it's still so hot that it's falling.
Okay. I need to try this, like, right now. You're making it look so easy.
I was very intimidated the first couple of times that I saw it. And I was like, I don't know if I can even do this. But literally, as soon as I tried it and got a hang of it and the heat, it was a piece of cake.
So we have a question from Rebecca Hogger, I think that's, or I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Rebecca. She says, I know you mentioned it, but do you just use gel colors to color the Isomalt, and does it just mix in with no issues?
I've only used the gel because that's all I have. And it usually mixes in just fine. You want to mix it in when it's liquid to get all the Isomalt colored.
It does bubble a little bit, right? When you first drop?
Well, when you first color it, it does bubble.
So you just mix it?
Right, you just keep mixing it in.
Yeah, Rebecca, I've done it a couple of times myself with gel, and I've never had an issue. It colors beautifully, actually. So how do you get the cup off? That was what I was like, huh? I don't understand.
Well, I made that slit. You see where I made the slit into the cup?
Yes.
There's a reason I made the slit. Because the first time I did it, it was an act of Congress to get the cup out. You just basically try to peel it away as easy as possible. I forgot to put shortening on it.
I was just gonna ask, should you have sprayed it, or could you spray it with something?
I usually do shortening.
I wonder if we can you get it off? It looks so pretty.
Well, the best part about it is that if it does break, which you can see it's cracking, you can melt it down and do it again.
Oh, it cracked.
Yeah.
And that's because you forgot to put the shortening to get it.
I forgot to use the shortening.
So don't forget the shortening, guys. Don't forget. I know I've made some gems before, and they were really difficult to get out, and I was then told to spray it with like a cooking spray and then sort of wipe it down so that sort of leaves a thin film. But you were saying you use shortening, so you just rub shortening?
Yep. Just rub shortening on it. I wipe off the excess. I'll show you. We'll do it again.
She's going to do it again because you can just pop it in the microwave and melt it back down.
Back down.
I love that. So if you make a mistake, you didn't waste product.
Right. Which is good for me because I make mistakes a lot.
Yeah, me too. But we only show you the good stuff.
Of course.
But I really appreciate seeing some of the mistakes too, because when you're in there trying to figure it out yourself, you don't know how to work around a mistake. So it's good to see that as well when you're learning. I think I learned a lot from my mistakes.
Yeah, I remember when I first did the fishbowl, after my first attempt, I was like, oh, I'm going to keep it. It looks so awesome. But the opening of it, I used just a cardboard paper towel, the inside of the paper towel, and the opening was too small. So it didn't look like a fish tank or a fishbowl.
So you could use a different, could you use a different Tupperware, like a carton of cream cheese? You know, they come in the little buckets. Could you use something like?
Of course, anything that has a large end on one side and something that you can make a smaller hole to blow into on the other side. Just make sure.
Another question from Rebecca. Thanks, Rebecca, for your questions. She says, how heavy are the bubbles and lights that you made? Are they light enough to be supported on a vertical wire, or are they somewhat heavy?
They're very light. I think if you got them all on there, this would be okay to hang on the cake. I think it would stay just fine.
So, how do you get the light that you just made that didn't quite fit on your gum paste?
Right.
How do you get it to secure on so that it doesn't slip off? Like perhaps you maybe made the opening a little bit too large. How would you get it? Would you just use melted Isomalt to help secure it?
Use melted Isomalt. You could even buy one of the little handheld torches that you can get at like Home Depot or Lowe's and melt the inside of it a little bit so that it's nice and sticky. You could even take some gum paste and push it on the inside and then secure it to whatever you're trying to put it on. You could put if you wanted to just put the lights on your cake, you could put gum paste on the inside, stick a toothpick through it, and then just stick it onto your cake.
Oh, okay. Now, what about, like, I had asked you about doing like a Christmas ornament. And you know how some ornaments are very sparkly, and is there a way to color it or brush it with some sort of edible glitter? Does it stick?
I'm sure you could. I mean, I haven't tried it, but I think the shimmer, like the pearl dust and stuff, would be really good. I think it would work just fine.
I am going to have to do these.
It's really easy. I was very intimidated.
So, can you move your, yeah. So we're going to try the
fishbowl again.
Yes.
You can even color it without it being liquid. It's just a little more complicated to get it all the same color. You have to work with it.
So you don't want to work with it if you can't handle it with your gloves, correct? Like that's too hot.
Right. Because it is so hot and not quite this ready, like this, it'll stick to your gloves, and then you're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna rip your gloves off.
Oh my God, you're gonna get burned.
Right. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave just a little bit longer. I'm gonna add some color to it.
I didn't know you could add color at that stage too. Oh, don't burn yourself.
Very hot.
I just got some Pat, or what's it called? Pat? I don't even know how to say it. I haven't had them. I just got some too, so now I know what I'm going to be using today. So isomalt is not something that you suggest the customer eat, correct?
Yes, heat. One day I will invest in a heat lamp.
Oh no, I said to eat, like to actually.
Oh yeah, it tastes like a lollipop.
Really? I heard that you shouldn't eat too much of it, so I'm not sure. Someone's just asking the same question. Maria is asking, I've never worked with isomalt. Is it edible? The fact that we are blowing it with our mouths, would it make it non-edible? Awesome things you're making. I really want to try this. That's true. We're blowing. We are contaminating it, I would guess, huh?
Well, technically, yes.
Yeah. Probably then becomes an inedible item. We would tell our customers not to eat it. It's for decoration only.
There are little hand pumps that you can get. You know, like what's it called, the blood pressure cuffs?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Little hand pumps.
Little pumps. You can untwist it and put the sugar on it and use the pump to blow it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I just haven't found one. And it's easier and more convenient for me to just blow it and be able to tell the customers, if you want to eat it, you can, but I blew this with my breath.
Yeah, or I would say just tell them it's non-edible. You know,
right.
I think that would be. It's not something to consume.
Right.
Of course, if you're doing it for your own kids, then I guess it's okay. I don't know that I was somewhere and someone said you don't want to eat too much isomalt, so I don't know that answer quite honestly.
I don't know. I know my kids eat it.
Do they? Kids eat just about anything.
True.
We have to tell them no. But that's a good question, Maria. Thank you. Because if you're blowing into it, you are basically putting our germs all over it. We don't want people to eat it after that point.
All right.
Oh, I can see it so clearly with the blue, how it's like kind of melty one side and thick on the other.
You can actually touch this and it's hard, and then this side is liquid.
Oh yes, the color is making such a huge difference.
You just want to try to get that same temperature.
How long did you have it in the microwave?
30 seconds. It doesn't take long at all.
I am so trying this today.
It's pretty easy.
I want to make the little light bulbs for a Christmas tree cake I'm doing for next Friday. So this is like so perfect timing. I really appreciate you doing this for us.
No problem.
I'm gonna see if I can make little ornaments, little balled ornaments too, and see if I can put some edible glitter on them.
Yeah.
But these are actually gonna be non-edible because I don't have a little pump. I'm gonna have to blow into them and just let the customer know, don't eat it.
Yeah. It's really hard to price the isomalt that you put on your cake. The work that you put into it and the price that it actually costs. I'm not even.
Isomalt is expensive. The bag that you.
The 1 pound bag that I got was $11.
Oh wow. And you used what, like 4 or 8 ounces, I guess.
Right. So far, I've used about half.
Oh.
All right, let me grab another cup. This time, we're going to shorten in the glass.
And then don't forget your slit. Cut it.
Right. Okay. Now, I just take my X-Acto knife and I poke it in there, and then I just turn it until I have a nice hole. Away from the Isomalt. And then I just. You don't want it too big because you can't actually cover the slit with the Isomalt. So if you make it too big, you're going to have to cover up the slit while you're blowing into it so the air doesn't escape.
Oh.
So now, we're just going to press it out, nice and even, consistent. It's still very hot.
We have another question from Rebecca while you are working. Have you ever tried to do this with using a recipe made out of sugar versus isomalt?
I have, and because of Hawaii, it doesn't work well. It just melts back into itself.
Right. I've made sugar, tried to do a frozen themed cake, and they just melted horribly. I didn't like it. I ended up not using it at all. I've never had the problem with isomalt though. Look at that. Oh my, I love that you colored this. Oh, Avalon has chimed in. She says, isomalt is a sugar substitute, but can cause a lot of digestive issues if eaten in large quantities. You're doing great, Jessica. You're clever, clever, she says. Thank you, Avalon. Thank you for answering our question about the edibleness of isomalt. That's what I heard, so I really appreciate you chiming in. You're the best, Avalon. Thank you.
As you can see, my cup came off.
So you just have to hold on to it really good when you're blowing.
It's so hot.
Don't burn yourself.
Yeah, we'll try again.
How many tries did it take you to get that, your final piece for your cake?
4. It took me 4 tries.
4 tries. That's an expensive fishbowl, people.
4 tries. But when I finally got it, oh, I can't tell you how proud I was.
I bet. It looked really awesome. I loved how it was a green. It was a green bowl, right?
I used like a baby blue color. It's like the sky blue and the Americolor.
Oh, so it kind of gave a greenish.
Yeah, I didn't. At first, I tried to do 2 colors. I tried to do the blue and then the clear on top, so it looked like it was full of water.
Oh, that would have been. Oh, I wonder if you could have painted the inside. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't want to. I finally got it the way I wanted it, so I didn't want to risk messing it up.
That makes sense.
So.
Third time's a charm.
All right. We'll do this, and then we'll do some ornaments.
Yeah, I think I will just tell my customers not to eat them.
Yeah.
We don't want any digestive issues going on or germs from my hot breath blowing into them. I'll just make sure the cake is extra yummy.
Right.
I was just thinking how I was going to, make ornaments. I want them to look as real as possible. And I thought, oh, I'll just make some out of gum paste or whatever. But then I thought they would be heavy when trying to get them to hang off of, say, a leaf or a branch from the tree. So I'm curious to see really how much they really do weigh. That was one of our questions.
I don't think they don't weigh much at all, really. All right, still very hot. Hot.
Do you need to put more shortening on your cup?
I think that it'll be fine. It's still nice and slick. Now, when I first did it, I was concerned that the Isomalt was going to be too hot, that it would melt the plastic. But come to find out, it was just fine. No! It's still too hot.
It looks so pretty from when you moved back like that. You can see through it. Go, Jessica. You're doing great. I'll have to get my fan out.
The fan is a must.
It looks really awesome. Is it Nod. Is it working? Is it doing what you want it to do?
Yep.
Yay!
All right. Now it's not completely cool. And you can see the little imperfections.
It looks really cool though. I'm all good with imperfections because, you know, life is imperfect. And when I have an imperfection on my cake, I just go with it. I just try not to stress about it. And usually the customer is in love with it anyway.
That's how it is.
Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? Oh my gosh, you did it! I love it. Oh my gosh, Jessica, that is so super cool. Did it break?
Yep, it did.
Oh, oh no.
But it just goes to show it's very important to make sure that it's very even.
Even, because it was a little thin on that side.
Right, because see, this side is pretty thick, and this side is very thin.
So that's in the process of when you're like flattening it into a pancake. That
Right. And when you're blowing it as well, when you're blowing it, you kind of want to keep your hand on your thin side, because sometimes these sides cool faster than the other side. So you want to make sure it's blowing evenly throughout the whole piece. But that's how I made.
I think we get the gist of it, Jessica. I think we get that it's not easy. That, however, it's easier probably with practice, and we just have to be more consistent with, you know, knowing more about Isomalt and working with it more.
I mean, I still have tons to learn.
We all do, Jessica. I've never really worked with Isomalt. I think I've only made some Isomalt gems in that little plastic tray.
Right.
That's as far as I've gone with Isomalt. So I bet you, me, along with several other people, are going to be making bowls because of you. So really appreciate it. So what are we going to, you have time for one last thing to show us?
Yes, we're going to make the ornaments.
Yay! Ornaments for Christmas. Oh, I just thought of something.
What?
You could totally do like the New Year's Eve, like the drop the ball. Like make the ball, the New Year's, maybe out of Isomalt. That might be, yeah.
Will it shatter?
Oh, even better, even better.
So fun.
So if you guys are still here, tune in. Make sure you get your questions in. She's going to show us one last thing before we end today.
I'm going to do 30 more seconds. It's not quite ready.
I didn't even know you could put the mats in the microwave, so I'm learning a lot.
I'm going to do some red Isomalt and make a little tie-dye ornament.
Oh, cool. So you'll show us how to make the tie-dye with the colors.
It's fun. I just love. After I started playing with it, I loved it. It's so fun. And then my kids they're hovering around me, looking at how big I can make the bubbles, and
Just don't let them touch it.
right? No.
So Rebecca has given us another question. Thank you, Rebecca,
I
for all
love
of your.
you, Rebecca.
She says, thank you so much for showing us all of this. You're amazing. Is
Aww,
You are amazing, Jessica.
thank
Is
you.
there any way to get the rim of your bowl cleaner? Is there time to maybe fix it before you blow it?
You can actually, once you're putting it in around the lip of your cup, you can press it down and make it nice and smooth. Or the way I did it with the fishbowl was I took a butter knife and I heated it up on the stove and got my knife really sharp, really hot because I don't have a torch. And then I just moved it around the outside of the bowl until it was nice and melted and kind of smoothed it out.
So if you have a torch, you could sort of even out the rim too.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get one for Christmas.
And I think Maria had the same sort of question. Let me read it. She says, could we trim the edges in any way? And you just said that with a knife, with a hot knife, or you just sort of melt it down.
Right. I melt mine down with the knife. But while it's still warm and you're putting it around the lip of the cup, you could possibly take your X-Acto knife and kind of trim it up while it's still very warm.
Oh, right. Around the cup.
Right. You just have to experiment with it and see what works best for you.
Yeah. So that answered your question, I think, Maria. Which is great question. Sort of using your knife or your X-Acto knife while it's still warm and can be sort of pliable and cut.
Right, because you saw me cut it. So I'm pretty sure that while you're doing it, you cut around it.
Oh, just like what you did.
Right, just cut through it. So, but right now, hot, hot, hot.
And Rebecca says, thank you. She keeps seeing that you need a torch, and she's excited to see that you're not using one, so that's ways around it.
That's pulled down too much.
Oh, you're right. The smaller the piece,
The smaller it is, the faster it cools.
you have to work faster. I get it. Okay, that's something to think about.
Ah, it's so hot.
Don't burn yourself for us, Jessica.
Nope. It's already too hard. You gotta put it back in the microwave. Okay. We will get it this time.
Yes, we're gonna get the bulb. So if you wanted to make an actual round ball without sort of a fish bowl with an opening, you would just use a very tiny straw.
Right. The size. You see how the tip of this is very small compared to my straw.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The smaller the opening, the smaller. I don't know.
Okay, so we have Heather Nicole saying if you're wanting to go completely edible, you can order a sugar pump from Simi Cakes. Oh yes, Simi Cakes, SIMI cakes.com. She has a sugar pump, so you don't have to blow and use your germies. But before you guys go spending money on that, try it with some straws just to practice for yourself and see how you like it.
Very hot.
Can you move your screen down so we can see what you're doing?
It's just hot.
I love that you can remelt things down and start over.
Remember the first time I did it, I threw it away because I didn't know that you could remelt it down and keep it again. It got too hard, and I was like, oh, well, darn, I can't use this anymore. But I think Liz said in one of her videos that, you know, you can remelt it. And I was like, what?
I know, duh. Had a duh moment.
Definitely want to have your fan handy.
Yes, I'm going to have to get my fan out.
Because it's very hot.
And those are just regular gloves from the medical aisle at Walmart?
Yep, they are. These are ultra soft vinyl gloves. Okay. Very hot.
Oh, I see it. That is so cool. Now, is it still pliable where we could cut the cut around the edge so that it's a cleaner opening?
Not at this point.
Oh, okay. These would be great too for all other reasons for cake, like sort of like an under the sea or more sort of smaller fish bowls. And that is so very cool.
I'll turn my oven on so we can smooth out these edges. No!
Oh no!
It slipped off too fast and it broke.
Oh, but now we know how to make edible glass, like if we were to put a broken glass on a cake. Well, I really appreciate you giving this a go live for us. That's
no problem
at all, right?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I hope that our viewers got at least a good idea of how to go about and not be so scared of Isomalt like me. Woo-hoo! Thank you so much.
This takes a lot of practice.
It does. Well, that's it, guys. That was really awesome. An awesome treat from Jessica Cruz. I really, 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 really appreciate it because like I said, I asked you to come on for selfish reasons because I really wanted to learn how to do that, and I'm really appreciative of you doing that demo live for us and for free. So if you guys liked what you saw, please share the link. Let the world know about Jessica and Abstract Edible Arts in Hawaii. And we'll say goodbye to Jessica. Say bye, Jessica.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
And Heather says you did a great job, and she's very thankful. Great tutorial. So thank you. Thanks again, Jessica. We'll see you next time. Maybe you'll keep playing around with some other stuff and come back and show us some other things.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Okay, guys, that's it. We're signing off. Until next time, I'm Kara with Sip by Kara, and we will have a happy holiday because I doubt I'm going to be back on before the holidays. Happy holidays. Thanks for joining us. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.